snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws caught. Foles, touchdown.
Here he goes. It's Hester. Inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown.
Fields stumbling, trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown!
Hurts on first down, fires downfield. It's Deshaun Jackson back in the lineup. Missed the last 7 games, and he will take it 81 yards. A somersault into the end zone. His first touchdown of the season.
You're listening to the Pigskin Project, the world's #1 football podcast. Now, with more insights on all things football, here are your hosts, Ben Hansen and Ryan Matthews.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 73rd episode of the Pigskin Project. I want to say this really quick. We postponed it one day because I am feeling a little under the weather. Not entirely sure what's been going on. I'm just going to chalk it up to me having a cold at this point. There's nothing really too specific, but what I will say is bear with me during this episode because it's going to be a little weird. Speaking of weird, Ben's on the left side. That's weird. I'm switching it back over. Anyway, so yeah, no, it's going to be a little weird. If I sound monotone, I promise you I'm trying not to let my voice crack at all because I sound like a 13-year-old boy when I'm trying to talk this week. So it's getting better. And there comes a point in time when you love a podcast so much that enough's enough. We've been putting this off not really putting this off. Last week was really busy for us, but we put it off a little bit longer than we wanted to. We hate canceling an episode for a week. It's the second time in Pigskin Project history, and we've been doing this for over a year. It's actually almost been like a year and a half. How crazy is that? But anyways, it's been insane. We've been insanely busy. That's probably why I'm sick, is because of how much running around I've been doing. But I'm getting back into the notion of feeling better, and so just stick with us this episode. I really appreciate it. But gonna bring in my relief here, Ben. How you doing this week, man? And last week as well.
Yeah, no, I'm doing fantastic. Like I've said, the last 3 times we've done this over the summer, it's been working a lot. The last week was a nice little break. For those who aren't too up to date on our Twitter and whatnot, we ended up canceling. Well, we originally postponed the episode to Thursday last week from our original Wednesday because we went to a baseball game, the Phillies Cubs, which was just a very fun game. At least for me, I can't say the same about Ryan.
It was fun. It just sucked because of the outcome, but that's it.
Yeah, but it's been fun to relax and kind of relax a little bit, but it's been good. And I think next week, either next week or the weekend after, will be the last time you guys will be seeing this background, because me and my girlfriend RB will be moving into our new apartment in a couple weeks. So it's going to be fun. And I don't think anyone caught it, and I don't think you caught it at the top because I don't think you did it on purpose. But like Ryan said, you guys are going to have to bear with us through this podcast. Chicago Bears. You're a Bears.
What are you talking about?
You said you're going to have to bear with me through your voice.
Oh, yeah.
Bear. Never mind. That was
wow. Speaking of Bear stuff, though,
right over.
today has been very eventful. I was able to meet a lot of very cool people, and just kind of witness for the second time in a year what feels like actual, I guess, the way that humanity acts in sports. It's really, really cool. So, and for those of you that don't really stay up to date on Twitter, and just, I guess, sports news at the moment. So training camp tickets came out for the Chicago Bears today at 10 o'clock in the morning. I had an alarm set at 9:55 and I was at work. I just wanted to make sure that I had Ticketmaster open and something. That way I can get some tickets. And my main mission with this going into it was that last year, there was no way I should have been able to go. And I mean, if you've listened to this podcast before, you know just how, just I hate to say life-changing because that sounds very dramatic, but it really changed my perspective on the Bears as a whole because my very, I want to say, limited relationship, because I really don't have that much of a relationship with him, but Travis Gibson is a really, really cool dude, and the fact that he was able to remember me and stuff like that, and the conversations that we've been able to have since then, it's really, really cool. And without having the resources that I did on Twitter, I would have never been able to have that. And because of that, it's such a big influence on me that it stuck with me for a year on how big of an impact that left on me. So since then, I've been, constantly striving to, you're a Bears, Mark. That's what it is. Absolutely. Since then, I really wanted to give back and give to somebody else who didn't have that opportunity as well, because knowing that these are free tickets on Ticketmaster, these things went like that. And so, one of the things that really irks me as well is when I go to training camp, and a lot of these people, that go to get these autographs and slap them on eBay or whatever, that totally butt in on people's experiences when it comes to, let's say, have a little kid there and he wants to meet Justin Fields or, something like that. It totally ruins it. And so for me, at first when I had started doing this, I was like, man, I feel like I'm part of the problem here. I'm taking away these tickets from people that could use them, but I'm giving them away. And so when I justified it, it was like, but I'm giving it away to people that have a background that actually need it, that are willing to share that with me and give it some thought to where you give somebody else's experience that you strived for last year. So what I did, because that tweet absolutely blew up. Ryan's a good guy. Who would have thought? Hey, I tried.
Bears
that
fan,
tweet absolutely
good guy.
So that tweet absolutely blew up. I mean, I got Windy City Gridiron, which is the same exact group of guys that gave me the tickets last year. They retweeted it. But not only that, but Bleacher Nation Bears also retweeted it. And they've got over 140,000 followers on Twitter. So that reached a lot more people. And we had easily 25 to 30 people entered into this contest that I had set up because of how much this was, so many DMs that I was getting. There were so many people that text me. So I was like, I cannot do this in a fair way that gets to everybody in one way unless I put this in some kind of contest. So that's when I put it in that little spin wheel thing, and we did, something. And I was able to meet a lot of cool people with that and give some tickets to people that really, really would like that. So overall, I had a very slow day today. With me feeling sick and everything, you're good. With me feeling sick and everything, it was really, really slow at work today. My motivation was really killing me and stuff, but that was the driving factor as far as, my good day. That is very much a good day. So that was awesome. And not only that, but Ben, so when I got training camp tickets, obviously, you could sit here and chalk it up to me being a good guy about all that, but that I wasn't going to, I was absolutely going to get some training camp tickets for myself. I'm not just going to give them away. Like, I had to pick some up for myself. So I have a pretty big Bears fan that's laying down behind me right now. And she's pretty awesome. She's pretty all right, I guess. Anyway, no, she's a pretty big fan of Cole Kmet, and I'm praying and hoping that she gets a chance to meet him because he's a good guy. And she'll be able to go with me to training camp next month, and I'm very excited about that. So
it'll be fun. I'm hoping for you guys.
But that's not it. That's not it. There's more. Bears are having a joint practice with the Indianapolis Colts on, I believe, August 16th is when I have the tickets for. And Ben, you and I taking one last trip, just like we did in the preseason last year as well, except this time a little bit more face-to-face. Pretty cool, because we get to see one of the most mobile, electric quarterbacks in the league, like Justin Fields, train and practice with a guy like Anthony Richardson, who has potential to be, I would say, along the same lines of a player. I would chalk him up to that. I mean, he's a very mobile guy. His college tape just proves that, and he's got an arm. He's just got to work on a little bit of stuff. Definitely, once he gets to that next level, and I'm absolutely excited to see what Justin Fields can do. But Ben, you didn't know about this whole training camp situation until, I don't know, a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts about it? What are you excited to see? I mean, you're not a Bears or Colts fan, so like, what's your mentality going into it?
This year, I might be a self-proclaimed Colts fan here. Like the anti-Cardinals of last year is how I describe where I'm at with the Colts. I mean, I don't know, like the carryover, and I hope we have a decent amount of carryover from the people that were listening last year to the people that are listening to this episode right now. But if not, I was just like, I went into the season just pooping on the Cardinals. I was like, Cardinals are not going to be good. I have no clue why everyone is hyping this team up. Sure enough, the Cardinals were booty, like I said. And I'm the complete opposite situation with the Colts this year. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just believe in the offensive line play as a former offensive line and Jonathan Taylor. And I really think Anthony Richardson can be something special at the next level, especially with, the head coach he has in Shane Steichen, who will hopefully be able to get the most out of him. I really, really like the Colts this year, and it's going to be fun to see, how they perform. Because like I said, just like I was completely against the Cardinals when everyone liked them last year, we've kind of made that flip this year to the Colts, where I'm going to be rooting for the Colts, and I think they're going to be a lot better than what people think they're going to be. So it'll be interesting. It's a day that I'm looking forward to, and just being able to see those two young quarterbacks who will hopefully be the face of the league one day, is going to be fun and interesting to see those guys practice.
Give me my Super Bowl rematch. That's all I want. Is it that much to ask? Anyways, so we've got a lot, planned for everybody today. Obviously we missed a week last week, so we're going to be going over the entirety of the NFC East. So all four teams are going to be doing their schedule predictions, and normally we do like a little bit of a filler, thing to a topic to talk about. But we're not doing that just to kind of compensate for the loss of time that we will have because of this NFC East prediction. But I'm very excited about that just because, as I'm jotting down the schedule and stuff like that, the Eagles, that'll be a fun one to predict.
It'll be
but
interesting.
As far as, because I'll be honest with you, before we dive into it, they're not invincible is what I will say.
I think they're going to be a better team than they were last year, but I don't think their record will show it. Right.
It's in terms of like scariness in the playoffs, like they're definitely a threat, but how deep that record is going to be, like how their contention for the number 1 seed, are they even in contention right now? Who knows? But we will get to that after weekly news, and then right after we do our predictions and everything, we'll do Weddle, and that'll be the episode. So without further ado, let's throw our little ticker on the bottom of the screen and get right into it.
Ryan and Ben bring you weekly news.
All right, so Dalvin Cook to the Jets is gaining momentum. I personally would hate this because the running back room is already pretty decent. Speaking of which, I had a take today at work that I want you to hear. We'll dive into Dalvin Cook and everything. This just reminded me. Literally, you just saw the train of thought just re-enter the station, baby. Here we go. So my buddy and I were talking about fantasy football, right? And, what was going on between, like, what's Tyler Allgeier's, where is he trending? What direction is he going to go in? You know what I compared him to?
Who?
Right? Tyler Allgeier is James Robinson after they drafted Travis Etienne.
I think it's an even worse situation because I think James Robinson produced more than Tyler Algier did. And I think with the less production, like it's a like and this is no shot to Travis Etienne or anything, but like Bijan's an even better running back than what Travis Etienne was. So it's like it's your situation that you're saying like on steroids, just like amped up to 10. But I could get behind that.
Yeah, absolutely. That was what I compared it to. I don't know. I was like, holy crap, I'm onto something. Like, I got to store that in the old memory bank. That way I could talk about that on the podcast. I don't know. Nothing really too crazy deep about it. But I was just going to say, hey, look, young running back, let's just replace him. Like, I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So Dalvin Cook, speaking of young running backs maybe getting replaced, I mean, Dalvin Cook, I mean, why is he just go to Miami, dude?
Yes, that's where he. Yeah, and I think it's a matter of like a paycheck. Like he said, he wasn't going to take like $3 million or $4 million a year. But I would hate it for him to go to New York. I'd hate it for him. I'd hate to see him in the Jets uniform, and I'd hate it to see all the other backs there as well. That's just I'm not for it. I mean, Dalvin Cook is fun, but like I said, it'd be fun to really see him in an offense that could really, really use him. Because the Jets don't like. I mean, it'd be a fun like piece to add, but they don't like need him. It's not like they have, a need at that position. Again, it's not like they just drafted someone in last year's draft who was performing on pace to be one of the best like rushing running backs in the history of the NFL before he tore his ACL. It's not like they did that or anything. And alongside drafting Breece Hall in the year Breece Hall had, I mean, given it's sometimes like it takes a little bit to bounce back from an ACL tear, but it's not completely impossible. I mean, look at AP. I mean, and obviously AP is not the standard; he's the exception, and he absolutely killed it when he bounced back. But that's why they went out and drafted one of my favorite guys in this year's draft is Israel Abanikanda. I mean, Ryan, you know more than anyone how much I love this kid. Like, absolutely. I mean, he was one of my favorite running backs, and he might have been my favorite running back in this draft. And that's saying something. I'm not saying best, but like my favorite running back in this class. So, like, selfishly, I would be really, really mad if if Dalvin Cook went there, because that would like firmly supplant him. Israel Abanikanda and firmly supplant him as running back 3. And I think even if Dalvin Cook signs with the Jets, he's running back 2. Wisen up here a little bit, buddy. Go into a situation where they need a running back, cough, Dolphins, and just be their RB1. It's going to be fun.
Play against your brother.
Right? Exactly.
Twice a year. Who gets to do that before they retire? Like, are you serious?
Exactly. I don't know, but the huge thing going around NFL Twitter, like it just happened like 10 minutes ago that everyone is freaking out about, that I have no clue why, is I guess he followed Alan Lazard on Instagram. Everyone's like, it's confirmed he's going to be a Jet because he followed Alan Lazard on Instagram. And I'm like, I don't know how serious that is, guys. Like, it's Alan Lazard. Calm down. But I don't know. There's traction there. It would suck, but I wouldn't be completely surprised to see it happen.
Yeah, no, of course. And, to be quite honest with you, like I said, it just doesn't make any sense for him to go to New York, except, I mean, do you have that much faith in the fact that they might win a ring? I don't see them winning a ring at all.
No,
like
I think you have.
I just realized my microphone was
with their defense.
I mean, to be completely honest with you, man,
that sounds so much better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, my coworker asked me today. He's like, "Dude, are the Jets gonna win the Super Bowl?" And I was like, "No. You know what the Jets are? The Jets were pre-2016 Chicago Cubs, dude. That's exactly what the Jets are. They're cursed, man. That is a cursed franchise. Like, they haven't. I mean, I don't know. They might make the playoffs, but that's like a heavy might. Like,
yeah."
Dude, that is a lot of competition. I don't know. Anyways, let's move on. It's almost 20 minutes in already. Former Commanders standout center Chase Roullier has announced his retirement. I'll be honest with you, I don't really know much about him, but
He was just a center for the Commanders that got paid. Was it 2 years ago now at this point? And he was good. Like, I mean, he got paid like 7-8 million. Like, he got paid starter like money, and he was good. He played like, he was hurt like all the time. He's played I think he's played like 7 games over like 2 years or something. So I just think he called it quits. He was like, yeah, it's okay. I'll take my money and go home.
The Patriots are signing linebacker Jawan Bentley to a 2-year extension worth over $18.7 million. So cool. And then the next headline is pretty big. Colts cornerback Isaiah Rodgers won a $1,000 bet on his own team's over/under for rushing yards in a game. He won the bet. Most of his bets were in the $25 to $50 range, which, by the way, I'll get back to that. And the $1,000 bet was in the largest wager Rodgers placed. Colts have cut cornerback Isaiah Rodgers and Rashad Berry following their gambling suspensions. Free agent defensive lineman Demetrius Taylor suspended for at least the 2023 season, and Titans right tackle Nicholas Petit-Frere suspended for 6 games. So I was going to get back to this, and then I'll definitely let you talk on it. But what is you're making how much money, and you're betting $25 to $50? Like, what is that to you? I understand that's probably why he's gambling it, because it's like that's absolutely something you can lose. But like, even if you win that, dude, that's like maybe $1,000, $2,000 bet. Like, congratulations, depending on the odds, of course. That might not even cash, but like, what are you winning?
That rushing yard bet too that he placed was on Zach Moss. It wasn't even
Seriously?
on Jonathan Taylor. Like, you're losing your NFL career to bet against your teammate. Like, what a guy.
Bet against him too. Yeah. I didn't even see that part.
It's speculated. We don't know for sure, but I mean, it's kind of stupid. I don't know. I don't know.
You won the bet.
It's at the point now where like, I don't feel sorry for these players anymore. Like, I understand the frustration, but like, if you're gonna bet, like, the rule in the NFL is feel free to bet as long as it's not in the team facility and as long as it's not on NFL related things. They wanted to bet on baseball, if they wanted to bet on hockey, they wanted to bet on soccer, they wanted to bet on basketball, they could do any of that. As long as it's not in the team facility, and these rules time after time after time after time has been read to these players, and people have continued to break them, and I don't even feel bad. Don't be stupid. Don't throw your career away by betting. Like, it's really not that hard, I promise, guys.
Hey, here's a little tip for players that want to do that. Maybe if you spent just as much time in the film room as you would at a sports book, maybe you would just make more money on the field. Just a thought. I don't know. Yeah. I'm a coach now, dude. So I'm thinking like, and believe me, I'm a complete hypocrite of this because of my high school career. But like, if you just like watch more film and like decide on what to work on, maybe you'll go to the next level. I don't know. And if you're a pro, maybe you'll like make more money. I don't know how hard of that's a crazy thing to like.
It's crazy thought process there. That's mind-boggling.
But anyways, I do want to say this really quick. For those of you that are over 21, look forward to this season because with myself turning 21, the day after week 1 starts, or not week 1 starts, I guess my birthday's on 9/11. Okay. Like, let's just, never forget. Right. Anyways, so basically, as soon as that happens, we're going to be covering a bunch of like sports gambling stuff, especially, more so for football than anything, because it's a football podcast, but, we're going to be covering a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to go into the specifics of it yet, to be quite honest with you. It's because we don't have it figured out yet. But just be on the lookout for that. I think we've talked about it briefly before in podcasts and like kind of teased it, but this is like the official announcement. This is coming to the podcast. This is part of the Pigskin Project. Now, Ben cannot legally gamble, so he cannot.
Yeah, but I will during the season. I do.
Absolutely.
during the season.
Yes, but so what we're gonna do to start off with, more than likely, is I'm gonna tell him what I'm looking at, and he's gonna tell me whether or not I should go for it. So
Tell him whether or not he's
that'll
being
be it.
stupid or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I might just make some risks or take some risks. We'll see. And then let's see. I apologize. Patriots and wide receiver Devontae Parker reached an agreement on a 3-year contract worth up to $33 million. So decent deal for a decent wide receiver.
Stupid. No, I disagree.
Seriously?
I overpaid. Holy moly. Parker hasn't done track. And I mean, I understand the appeal to the Patriots because you guys have no one in that wide receiver room anyways. So you have to go out and at least extend someone. And then he does offer nice, like, little deep ball like threat now with his speed, with his ability to make the contested catch. But just real quick, he ranked 99th. So this is or wait, hold on. Oh, never mind. I've read these stats completely.
You're like, yeah, never mind. It was a good deal. Yeah.
It was actually a really good deal. I read it completely wrong.
I was like, where's he going with this? This will be interesting.
No, this is good. He read 99th. 99th is like good. Like, you don't want to be in the first percentile. You want to be in like the 100th percentile. 100th being like the best ever. Yeah. So he was in the 99th percentile when it came to drop rate, meaning he just didn't drop the ball at all. Like, it just didn't happen. He ranked 98th in like his reception grade in single man coverage, and 91st in zone coverage. So believe it or not, he was actually pretty freaking good when it came to like winning his reps. I read that wrong. I was thinking 99th percentile as in like I saw 99th percentile drop rate, and I was like, his didn't have a good drop rate at all. But I was reading wrong. I'm a little tired today, guys. So it actually worked out pretty well for them. Getting $11 million per year, especially with how the wide receiver market is looking now, is good. But God bless his career having to play with McCorkle Jones. So
you know what? It's my McCorkle Jones. You saw that video too, the real names.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I saw that video, but that's like, I mean, that's something people joked about for years now going on.
Oh. I didn't know if you saw the video or not. I was laughing about that because of the Deshaun Watson comment. Anyways, so if you know, you know. If not, you don't. It's fine. Probably not going to explain it here. Anyways, so no. Speaking of wide receiver market, though, what I was going to say is, you know what that tells me as far as the extension part? They're not getting DeAndre Hopkins. They don't feel confident enough to utilize that money towards that superstar wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins to the point to where he's not going to be a Patriot. That just screams that he's going to be a part of a different team. I heard that he's having really, really good meetings with the Titans, and I'm very, very excited to see where he goes. I'm rooting for him to go to the Browns personally, just because I think that him and Deshaun Watson would be fun to watch again. I personally am a believer that I think Deshaun Watson is going to return to form in 2023. Very excited for that. But, you know, just because why not root for more competition in the AFC as far as quarterbacks and stuff, right? So, I'm more than excited about this stuff, man. Yeah.
And I definitely meant to mute myself, guys. Sorry, there's something going on in the background. It sounded like a tornado siren. It threw me off. Anyways, no, well, the interesting thing, and like, I don't know how true any of this stuff is because Twitter and Twitter doesn't get stuff right usually and whatnot. But there's a report going around Twitter today that if I think it was the Bills, Chiefs, and Browns, if they made like an offer anywhere near the amount of the offer that the Titans or Patriots made to him, he would have signed there like a month ago. But I guess the issue is the only teams that are actually paying him the money that he wants are the Patriots and Titans. And he has mixed feelings because he's like, do I really want to play for Mac Jones or do I really want to play for Ryan Tannehill? But like the quarterbacks he does want to go and play with, in Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, or Josh Allen, the team isn't willing to like cough up that money, which now makes a lot more sense looking at that report And going back then and looking at why Stephon Diggs was so mad was because he gave up his money in hopes that the team was going to sign DeAndre Hopkins. So if it makes sense now why he's mad, because he's like, I gave up my money for you guys to sign this guy, and you guys aren't giving him $2 or $3 or $4 million extra to get him in here when I gave up $2 to $3 to $4 million for you guys to get him in here. So stuff is kind of making a little bit more sense now. It's just a matter of, is he willing to make more money and not contend, or is the team going to bite, or what? So it's still up in the air in terms of that. I would be not shocked if we go into training camp and he still hasn't been signed. So,
Really?
Yeah.
I think that he could hold out just a little bit longer.
That's what. Yeah. Well,
I'm saying, like,
longer
past-
training camp.
Yeah, just a little bit. For some reason, I'm getting that feeling to where it's like that. It's absolutely a possibility. I think that,
I think it'll be like 2 or 3 days into training camp, and then he'll sign somewhere. Is my guess.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. My next headline. Oh yeah, it's a little sad. Former NFL quarterback Ryan Mallett tragically passed away. He was only 35 years old. I think that it was highly inappropriate that we were posting the reasons, not us, but like news outlets were posting how he passed. To be completely honest with you, when people die, I don't find it important enough to be like, oh, this is what, and like, this is the reason. Yeah. Like, it's the reason is they're gone, and we should remember them. So that's just unfortunate the way that it went about. But at the end of the day, that's what happened. And as always, we want to send prayers and our best wishes to his family and friends that are coping with that. But on a brighter note, let's dive right into our NFC East predictions, because we finished our AFC East predictions last week.
I was hoping, 2 weeks ago now at this point. Yeah. I want to hold Dallas and Eagles until last. So I want Eagles to be the very last and Dallas to be the second last. I don't care if the Commanders or Giants go first or second, but I do want to trade to Cowboys and Eagles.
Cowboys and Eagles last. All right. So what we'll do Giants, then Commanders, then Cowboys and Eagles. Because that's the exact reverse of the order that I had planned, but it's all good.
Oh, yeah, I am perfectly fine with that. I'm sorry. Okay. Football stuff happened that just made me mad.
That's all good. Wait, football stuff just happened?
Basketball.
Baseball? Basketball.
Montrezl Harrell just signed with the 76ers again. Dude's booty. It's besides the point. Oh.
You think you know football? Well, prove it. This is Pigskin Pick'em.
All right, so now that we're past that. What?
Nothing.
All right. I want to make sure that all of this lines up. Can you explain to me why you want the Eagles and Cowboys to go last?
I just want to save that stuff for last because I feel like those are going to be the two most interesting teams to talk about. I mean, the Giants maybe, but the Commanders are going to suck. Everyone knows that. And I think the Giants are going to be a fine team, but I don't think they're going to be competing with the Cowboys and Eagles. So I just want to say that to the last part, just because I feel like that's where most of the conversation within the NFC East is going to come from.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so let's go ahead and get started then. The Giants, they're taking on the Cowboys at home. What do you think?
L.
I'm right there with you. We're going to kind of breeze through this unless we really have an explanation as to why it's a shocker. Giants at Cardinals. I think this is self-explanatory.
Yep. We both have winning.
Giants at 49ers.
See, this one was hard. I'm going to be honest. I originally had this as a W for the Giants just because it will be week 3. I don't know how the quarterback situation wins. Well, it really just boils down to the quarterback situation there. Is Purdy going to be ready? Do they have enough confidence in Trey Lance? I sure as hope Sam Darnold's not going to be the starting quarterback. But the reports are he's pushing for the job right now.
Yeah.
So it's tough because I just at that point in the season I still don't know if the whole quarterback room is going to be figured out just with the injury and the whole Trey Lance saga and everything. So it'll be interesting to see how everything turns out. At the end of the day, I do have the Niners winning, so the Giants are going to lose. But this wouldn't be a loss I'd be shocked by, especially if the whole quarterback situation isn't figured out.
That's fair. Yeah, obviously I have them losing. The next one, they're at home against the Seahawks. What do you think?
They're going to lose.
Yeah, I do too. The Seahawks are sneaky good, man. Like, I think that
absolutely. It'll be fun. I can't wait to talk about them because it's going to be fun.
Well, dude, the thing is, like, what people don't understand is that they had they had a really good draft. And, like, because of that, I mean, they're rebuilding in, like, the fastest way possible right now. They get a good quarterback. Like, I understand Geno was, like, good last year. That's his one good season that he's had, right? Like, that's good. Don't get me wrong. Like, fantastic. Good for Geno. Happy that he got his extension and everything. He deserves it after that 1 year. However, let's kind of pump the brakes a little bit about Geno Smith. Like, everybody's saying, like, he's a top 10 quarterback, stuff like that. It's like, all right, well, the dude had one good season. Like, I'm not ready for that just yet. Let's just kind of slow down a little bit. But he has see. He has the weapons now to be even better than he was last year. I'm excited about it. But,
And this is the whole pendulum that like drives me mad and crazy because people can't make up their gosh darn minds. People will look at what Philadelphia has as a team and be like, Josh Allen is only good, or Jalen Hurts is only good because of the weapons around him, and blah, 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 blah. But then people will look at the Seahawks and we'll see the Seahawks have some pretty gosh darn good weapons and be like, well, Geno Smith sucks. Well, if it's a whole weapons thing, you would think Geno Smith would be good because Tyler Lockett and Jackson Smith-Njigba and DK Metcalf aren't quite what the Eagles have, but it's pretty gosh darn good. And people can't make up their freaking minds when it comes to how much the supporting cast matters to quarterbacks play. And it drives me wild. But we will see. It really does depend on how Geno is going to play. So I do second that.
So, this is hilarious. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm making my schedule predictions for the rest of the teams and the Commanders. It's just awful. Anyways, so, let's see. So, where were we? Oh, yes. Okay, so Giants taking on the Dolphins in Miami. I have them losing this one as well.
I have them winning.
Winning? Why is that?
Again, there's just a few games every year that teams win, and it's always fun to like go back and just say that because I know some people are like, well, that's not football analysis. That's just, that's truth though. And I do think the Giants are going to be a good team. It's just a matter of how Daniel Jones does back there. But I could see it happening, and sometimes the Dolphins, not sometimes, but the Dolphins do have a history of choking against teams they should beat.
That's fair. Yeah. So let's see. Next week in Buffalo, I have them losing. This one makes sense. Just, easy peasy there. Next week versus the Commanders, I have them winning this one. Next week at home against the Jets, I had them losing this one.
So I wonder if our schedule is going to be the exact same.
Maybe. Let's see. Next week in Vegas, I have them winning.
Yep.
Next week in Dallas, I have them losing.
Yes, sir.
Next week in Washington, I have them winning.
Yep.
Next week at home against the Patriots, I have them winning.
Yes.
Next week at home against the Packers, I have them winning.
Okay. This is where we deferred a little bit. I have the Packers winning.
Okay. So
I think the Packers just have a better roster. It's just a matter of Love. It's really just a matter of how good Jordan Love plays. I'm much higher on Jordan Love than what the public is because I like Jordan Love coming out of the Utah State. I almost said Nevada. Coming out of Utah State. And I think at this point in the season, he will have it figured out to the point where he's playing like Daniel Jones. And if he's playing like Daniel Jones, I think the Packers have a better roster. So at that point, I'm going to go with the roster because I don't think there's a big enough difference between the quarterbacks.
Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, the reason why I had them losing against the Packers or winning against the Packers,
Because
I'm
you hate
sorry.
the Packers.
Well, it's late in the season, and at the end of the day, late in the season, you're playing at MetLife. That's a rough place to play. So, anyways, so yeah, I had them winning that. In New Orleans against the Saints, I had them losing. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory as well.
Yep.
In Lincoln Financial, they're losing. I had them losing against the Rams.
I had them winning against the Rams.
Okay. See, the Rams, I feel like, yes, they've downgraded, but like I don't think that we're giving Matthew Stafford a lot of credit here. I think that a lot of sports media think that Matthew Stafford just fell off the face of the earth. This dude is still pretty decent, and Cooper Kupp is still a dude. Like, that guy can go out and win you a game. And if you don't believe me, just watch the NFC Championship game from 2022, and I promise you that point will be made. But at the end of the day, I mean, the Rams, I think that they'll at least make it close with the Rams, but I think the Rams are going to pull out just because, I mean, I don't know, Matthew Stafford. I like Matthew Stafford, to be honest with you. It sucked rooting against him in Detroit. He was always one of my favorite players. I've watched him play in person. Really likable guy. It's just, dang it, man. Why do you got to be a lion? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I do think the Rams might be sneaky good this year. Like, when I say sneaky good, I don't mean winning like 10 games.
No.
I mean, just like better than what teams think, kind of like what the Lions were this past year. But I just think are lacking so many pieces at such important parts, like pretty much their whole defense outside of Aaron Donald and pretty much their whole offensive line. I don't think the team is quite there yet, but I think they'll be better than what people think. But again, I just don't think the team's there yet, and that's why the Giants winning.
Okay. Let's see. So yeah, so that finishes up your schedule prediction.
And then they are
they're losing to the Eagles. I finished at 6-11. You had 7-10 for the Giants there. Moving on to the next one, we have the Commanders. They're losing every game except for the one against the Falcons.
Really?
That's my prediction. Yep. And
you have them. Wow.
1-16.
Be happy. Okay.
You're gonna have them beat the Bears? Are you stupid?
Yes, I do.
Oh my god, buddy! Come on.
I have them winning 3 games this year, all within like the first 7 weeks of the season. I have them beating the Cardinals.
I meant that with all the love in the world, by the way. You're not stupid. I know that.
You're good. I have them beating the Cardinals. I have them beating the Falcons. I do have them beating the Bears. Mostly just to throw that in there to make you mad. But I could see
you suck.
Like mostly there to make you mad. Gotta spice it up. Gotta keep you on your feet here. In the off season, like the gruel where nothing's happening. Really, just get the emotions flowing here for a second. I could see it happening, and I'm gonna lay it out. As much as me and you have been kind of on the Justin Fields train, obviously you a bit more than me, but I've kind of been on there a little bit more. We do have to see it, and it'll be interesting to see how he develops. And kind of the case in this game for them to win, or for the Commanders to win, is Justin Fields has one of those awful games that he did during the season where he throws 2 interceptions and only throws, like for 120 yards or something. I feel like that's the place for them to win. But then also up along like the front, their defensive line versus your guys' offensive line. I'm going to be honest, as much as I don't like Chase Young, it would be a little fun for me, and I would have a little bit of a smirk on my face to see Chase Young sack Justin Fields after the whole talk this entire offseason was the Bears are going to trade for Chase Young. So it's kind of fun to see that happen. Again,
Is
I really
he moved, do you think?
Chase Young, I don't know. It's tough. I could see it happening, but there hasn't been much traction. I wouldn't be surprised if out of nowhere it picked up and he gets traded next week. But as of right now, there's not a whole lot of traction behind it besides the fact that they declined his 5th year. So it'll be interesting. Again, I actually don't think the Commanders will win, but I'm going to keep it a W just to have that little slight in there. So I do have them finishing the season 3-14. This is one of the bottom feeders in the NFC. And it is just a matter of Sam Howell. And if Sam Howell can play well enough to keep his team out of the top, 2 picks to get Caleb Williams. So,
okay. I just realized something. Okay, first off, I don't know if you saw my little reaction there of me just going like this and just, kind of looking down. That was me imagining the world in which you draft Justin Fields ahead of me in our fantasy league, and I think that I might take a trip down to Bloomington just to smack you across the face and then drive back home. Just a heads up. Do not take this guy from me.
Oh, you just wait there, pal.
Because I know you will. I think
I don't know. We'll see.
Before we get to the Eagles, and I know that we have the Cowboys ahead of them, but I don't think Jalen Hurts. I would be more. I would draft Justin Fields ahead of Jalen Hurts in fantasy. I'll say it.
Okay, you clown. I mean, we'll get there the closer we get to fantasy draft, but that's just stupid. I mean, it's okay. It's not like throwing the football or something. It's like the most important part of playing a quarterback. And it's not like Hurts has a top 3. It's not like Hurts has the best quarterback or not. It's not like he has the best wide receiver tight end duo in all of the NFL or anything, you clown. And you can't dispute that because they have a top 3 wide receiving core in the NFL. And when you add in the fact you're counting for tight ends, it's very clearly the Eagles. Who do the freaking Cincinnati Bengals have back there at their tight end? Irv Smith? That's besides the point. We can get.
That's what you get for saying the Commanders are going to beat my team. We're moving on to the Cowboys here. I'm going to say they're going to win the first 5 matchups. They're going to start 5-0. They're winning against the Giants in New York, the Jets at home, the Cardinals in Arizona, the Patriots at home, and then the 49ers in San Francisco.
I missed a game in here. What happened?
I'm looking at my divisional schedule here because that's going to matter down the road.
Giants. That was the team I missed. Yeah, I have them. I'm right there with you besides the Niners. It's funny because I had the Giants beating the Niners, but I don't have the Cowboys beating the Niners, even though the Cowboys are definitely a better team. I'm right there with you. Of those games, the Niners are the only team that I have winning or beating the Cowboys.
Okay. Let me see really quick. Sorry. All right. Okay, cool. Anyway, let's see. And then I had them losing the next 3. Chargers, Rams, and then Eagles. They're losing against.
I had them losing to the Chargers, beating the Rams, beating the Eagles.
So wait a minute. Can you repeat the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
They're beating the Giants, beating the Cardinals, beating the Patriots, losing to the 49ers.
What about the Jets game, week 2?
Yeah. I don't know how I left that one out there. I'll have them win that game.
That's going to be a battle, by the way. I love that one.
Yeah.
At home against the Giants, I have them winning. In Carolina against the Panthers, I have them winning. And then at home against the Commanders, I have them winning.
As do I. Yep. Well, and to make it short and sweet, I actually have them going on a 4-game win streak here against the Giants, Panthers, Commanders, and Seahawks.
Okay. I have them losing against the Seahawks. I'm just going to finish it out. Losing against the Seahawks, win against the Eagles, lose against the Bills, and then they'll win out against the Dolphins, Lions, and Commanders.
Okay. I have them winning against the Eagles, losing against the Bills, losing against the Eagles. Sorry.
I was going to say.
Losing against the Eagles, losing against the Bills, losing against the Dolphins, and then win out with Lions and Commanders, which that puts me at 12-5.
You have them at 13-4, my friend. 1, 2, 3.
I have them losing to the Niners, Chargers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, my bad. I put a win underneath the 49ers. So yeah, 12-5.
Yeah.
As do I.
Finishing
second in their division.
We'll get there. I have them. It's funny because I usually have the home team winning, and I usually have them split and have the home team win. But like almost historically, though, the home team has lost. And the Eagles versus Cowboys, and I have no clue why. Like it's just odd.
I thought I remembered that.
Odd. The home team loses. I have no clue why that happens. So that's what I did here. I still had them split, but I just had the home team lose. But yeah, I had them finishing.
What? No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, yeah. So I had the home team losing. So
I cannot wait for football to come back.
I know.
Dude, I'm like sitting here, like, keep in mind, okay, so this is the first football season since I've been moved out, and like I'm like sitting there, like yesterday, for example, right? I like sat here and stared at my TV. My TV was off, okay? And I was just imagining a Sunday night football game. You know, like the graphic was up, somebody just made a big tackle, it was huge, crowd's going crazy, like cannot wait for this. Anyway,
I can't wait to hear, this is Scott Hansen. We're here for 12 hours of commercial-free football. It's going to be great.
So, all right, starting with the Eagles, I'm going to breeze by this because, I mean, it's going to be pretty easy. They are going to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of their first 9 games. They're going to lose against the Jets.
Holy. I'm right there with you. Their first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Their first 5, they're going to win. So that's the Patriots, Vikings, Bucks, Commanders, Rams.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to go into MetLife and lose against the Jets, as much as that sucks. And I do have them losing against the Dolphins as well. But I do have them winning against the Commanders. That's my first 8.
In the next 4, I have them going 2-2, winning against the Cowboys and 49ers, losing against the Chiefs and Bills.
Same. Yep, I have them beating what? Sorry. I have them losing against the Cowboys, losing against the Chiefs, losing against the Bills, but winning against
the 49ers.
The Niners.
I have them losing against the Cowboys, losing against the Seahawks, and then winning out against the Giants, Cardinals, and Giants again.
I have them winning against the Cowboys, losing against the Seahawks, and then winning out against the Giants, Cardinals, and Giants.
Wow.
Which makes me so mad, by the way, that the in division game where you play a team twice are like the last 3 weeks of the season. Like, I don't know what the NFL did there with the Giants in week 15 and 17. Like, that kind of makes me a little mad that you waited that long and then it's darn near back to back. And I think like that's coming off of a short week as well.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a Monday night game. Like, I think the first one's a Monday night game. So it's like Monday night game, Cardinals, and then Giants. And it just, I don't know. The NFL decided to be a little weird, but that actually puts me at 11-6 for the Eagles. And then that actually makes them the first wild card.
Yeah. Wow. I was going to say second in the division. First wild card is correct. Yeah. I have them going 12-5, and they're first in the division strictly because of division matchups. They won one more division game against the Cowboys in my predictions, and that is why they're going to be first in that division. Pretty close, though.
Yes.
It all comes down to that Cowboys. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Cowboys and Eagles series is going to be entertaining, guys. But as we advertised before, And we kind of breezed through this a lot quicker than I thought that we would. We completely.
It's not like we're an hour or 54 minutes into the
Like-
podcast or anything.
Like we're actually on time. That's awesome. Anyways, let's get right into it.
It's time for America's favorite game, Weddle.
Here we go.
Well,
So
and real quick for the people, because I know Ryan just talked about how much we're getting a little bit into our personal lives here. Nothing crazy. So about football. But Ryan was talking about how he can't now wait for football. He just told you guys that. Well, gosh, I think it would have been Saturday. I think it was this weekend. The weekends are starting to blend together here for me, guys. Yeah. But for those who follow other sports, the really big thing going on in basketball right now is the whole like Damian Lillard trade and whatnot. And I do not get a lot of service down because I work at a boat rental here, and I work on the shore, and I spend like 9 to 10 hours a day down on the shore, and I don't get any service. Like, I mean, I get service, but it's not good. And all I see is him sending like, "Let's go," just like in all caps in a picture. And I'm like, oh no. Damian Lillard just got traded to the Heat. This sucks. This day's going to be awful. And I'm like, and if it's not Damian Lillard, something crazy just must have happened. And I'm like, all right, I have to step away because the picture's not loading. So I give Ryan a call. I'm like, what's this about? Like, what happened? What's going on? And he's like, oh, the Hall of Fame game's in a month. And I'm like, not at all what I thought his response was going to be.
Dude,
so for those questions, how excited he is. Like,
I'm so infatuated with this game. It's so ridiculous, dude. Like, I am a complete student of the game, and I intend on being a student of the game for the next lifetime, dude. Like, I hope that I get reincarnated as a football player or coach or something. Like, let me be a part of this game even more. Dude, I love this game so much. And so when I see that we are less than a month away from the Hall of Fame game, I'm absolutely going to blow up in our football group chat. But I felt really bad after all that happened. I'll be completely honest with you. Anyways, Ben, you're up 25-14 in Weddle, which is crazy to think about that this is our 40th. I don't know. It's not our 40th week doing it. We've actually been doing it for a while. It's just the fact that Weddle kind of sucks sometimes. It was really easy the other day. I was able to get it pretty quick, but
I didn't do it the other day.
No. So it was, I forget who it was for. It was like some running back for the first time, I want to say, or like the easy time. And then it was Aiden Hutchison for the hard mode. So
I did it one time where it was like Cole Kmet. And on defense or for hard mode, it was like TJ Watt. And I'm thinking to myself, like, not that Cole Kmet was like hard to get at all, but I feel like more people know who TJ Watt is than people know who Cole Kmet is.
Right.
So I don't know. Weddle's bipolar. We'll see. Hopefully it's not one of those days where it's super hard like it has been. We'll see.
So you want to go first or second here?
It doesn't bother me at this point.
Let's go with
Darnell Mooney. I
was gonna go with Darrington Evans just because I don't know. Who's a random player that I can pick? I was gonna go Mike Davis there. I don't know, Darren Waller, I guess. Oh, NFC East. How fitting! Isn't that crazy that we're doing the NFC East this week?
Huh. Hopefully it's an Eagle. Number 12. Can't be Quez. Can't be. I don't know. It's not an Eagle. Michael Gallup. Where's 13? I think. It's a running back. Oh.
Is it your new running back? What's his name? Swifty? Oh my god, dude. Are you kidding me?
That's not correct. He's wearing number 0. So 32 is not correct because he's wearing 0. So that must mean it has to.
Who's your other running back?
The other running back's Rashad Penny, but it's not Rashad Penny because of the age. It's Kenny Gainwell.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
See, that's the small things about Weddle. Like, Weddle had freaking Bryce Young listed at 6'1", and Bryce Young is definitely not 6'1". I stand corrected.
First or second?
I'll go second again. A.J. Dillon. I really hope. Oh, is that a kicker? Josh Lambo. I think it's Josh Lambo. Type in Lambo. Like Lambo. Ah, is he not out of the league now? That's wild. Tyler Bass.
You and I both were thinking special teams there.
What?
We were both thinking special teams there.
Yes, it makes me happy it's not either.
What's
AFC? What am I doing? Good. Means defense. Defensive player that wears number 2. I feel like that's something that would stand out.
Oh my God! It's another AFC.
How fitting. Well, I can tell you right now, it's not an Eagle. Actually, Darius Slay. Okay. I was like, it's not Eagle. And I'm like, actually, dude, Darius Slay switches numbers.
I'm sitting here like,
so
if he doesn't get this, I'm gonna scoop this up. Anyway. All right. So that does it for the 73rd episode.
Now that we're so late into the podcast, I feel comfortable. There's your guys' daily Ferguson sighting for those who have made it this long in the video.
Your little Ferguson Easter egg.
Yeah.
So if you made it this far, we want to say thank you. If you're a newcomer, I want to say thank you so much for all the support today. And sorry, you may or may not have won the contest. Anyways, we would like to thank Overtime Sports Network, Regional Radio Sports Network, Spotify for podcasters, and Upcuts Grooming for helping us expand as a podcast. And we want to thank you guys for tagging along with us thus far. If you haven't already, please leave a comment or a like or a subscription or something like that. I don't know. We're both exhausted. Just figure it out. At the end of the day, anything that can help us support our podcast and get us to the next level to reach other fans that might be just as infatuated as I am to football or Ben is to football. Just kind of share it. You know, if you like football, just do it. It's easy. But with that being said, that's it for the Pigskin Project this week, and we will see you guys next week.